If you've been accused of a crime, it can be hard for you and those who look after you to know what to expect when you have to go to court. It's normal to feel anxious and worried about what will happen next. This video will help you understand the next steps and what you need to do to get ready for court. First, your parents or whoever looks after you should speak to a legal expert called a solicitor about what's happening. You can speak to them privately too if you want. If you are under 18 and in full-time education, you do not have to pay for a solicitor. Your solicitor will help explain things if you don't understand them and will be able to speak with you about your case, explain what will happen and give advice, and speak to the judge on your behalf when you're in court. Going to court can be scary, and it is okay to feel worried about it. There are some things you can do to make the experience easier. Be on time for your hearing. This is important. Look up where the courthouse is in your area and plan how you will travel to the court. Remember that there will be security screening as you enter the building and add time for this to your journey. You could visit the courthouse before your hearing or take a virtual tour online. You can speak to your solicitor, social worker, or youth justice worker about what to expect. There are no rules about what you should wear to court, but you should try to wear something that is tidy and looks well. If you need help with dressing for court, you can speak to your youth justice worker or your social worker if you have one. On the day of court, you can attend with another person who is there to support you. This could be your parent or whoever looks after you, or perhaps your social worker. Everyone in court has to follow certain rules. It is okay to get upset if you are asked to do or not to do certain things. Just remember, it is not personal and everyone has to follow the same rules. You might have to wait a while before you're called into the courtroom, and courts can be very busy places. Other people will also be waiting to be called. You could be waiting for a short time or it could be longer, so bring something with you to pass the time. Remember to turn your phone and devices to silent and use headphones if you want to watch or listen to anything. Make sure to eat or drink before you arrive at the court, as you are not allowed food or drink in the courtroom. Water will be available if you need it. It is normal to feel anxious, afraid, or upset at court. Talk to people who could help. This might be your friends, parents, or carer, youth justice worker, or your solicitor about how you might be feeling. You might also want to bring a comforting item with you to court. Just check with your solicitor if it's okay for you to bring it into the courtroom. There will be a number of people in the courtroom who play important roles. Some may appear on screen and not in person, but they are still official. The most important person is the judge, who will sit at the front of the room, usually in the middle of the table. Everyone in the room has to stand up when the judge enters and leaves the room to show respect. The judge usually has two people sitting alongside them. These are called lay magistrates, and they will help the judge decide what to do about your case. Your solicitor will be one of the people sitting in front of the judge. There will also be a prosecutor who will talk about why you have been brought to court. When you're in the courtroom, you should only speak when you're spoken to. Speak to your solicitor if you have questions or if you want to say something to the judge. Members of the public are not allowed to attend youth court, and you are not allowed to take photos, videos, or recordings in the courtroom, so make sure your phone is switched off. The first time you appear at court in person can be very quick, often because your solicitor or the prosecutor needs more time to work on the case. If this happens, the judge will ask you to come back to court again on another date. This is called an adjournment. The judge or a member of the court staff might speak directly to you and ask your name and check if you understand why you are in court and the offences you've been charged with. If someone speaks to you, try your best to look at them and listen carefully to what they are saying. They should speak to you in a way you understand. If you don't, you can ask questions. Remember, it's important to speak respectfully. You may also be asked to tell the court if you are pleading, which means saying you are guilty or not guilty. If you plead guilty, you are admitting that you have committed the crime. You will then have to return to court at a later date. A youth justice or probation worker will get in touch to offer support and talk to you about what happened that led you to being in court, how you feel about what happened, and what help and support you might need to stop this from happening again. They will suggest how you could take responsibility for what happened and how you can repair any harm caused by your actions. It's very important that you go to your appointments with your youth justice or probation worker, as they will be sharing information with the judge. The judge will then decide what the outcome or sentence of your case will be. If you plead not guilty, it means you do not accept responsibility or that you did not commit the crime. If you plead not guilty, the prosecutor will have to prove that you are guilty. This is known as a contest. Your solicitor will explain what happens during a contest and make sure that you are ready for it. The contest will happen on another date, and until then, you may have bail conditions, which are a set of rules that you have to keep. Your solicitor will help you and whoever looks after you understand what these mean and what you have to do. At your contest, the prosecutor's job is to try and prove to the court that you have committed the crime, using evidence collected during the police investigations. Your solicitor will speak for you and try to prove that you didn't commit the crime. You will be presumed innocent unless the prosecutor proves otherwise. If you want to speak and give evidence, your solicitor will prepare you beforehand. It can be difficult and upsetting to hear things said which you think are untrue or unfair. If that happens, you should try not to react. Stay calm and speak to your solicitor. At the end, the judge and the lay magistrates will decide if you are guilty or not guilty based on what they have heard. If they find that you are not guilty, then the case is over and you are free to go. If they find that you are guilty, they will have to think about your sentence and will adjourn your case again to a later date. A youth justice or probation worker will contact you to get more information, discuss your feelings on being found guilty, and the options that the judge will consider as a sentence. You should also speak to your solicitor, who will help you understand the outcome and all of the options available to you. Being prepared for court is very important because the decision the judge will make can have a big impact on your life and your future. Remember that there are people there to support you and to help you get ready for court so you can make a good impression. If you prepare well, remember the rules and be respectful throughout, you will be treated fairly and with respect.